boys and girls, my name is Miss Hannah. Welcome back to day 12 of our summer program. Today we are doing the oil spill experiment. And if you do not have the materials for these at home, that is all right. I will still be doing the experiment in front of me, and it's going to be a little bit difficult filming, so just bear with me. But this is what you will need. You are going to need this medicine dropper. You're going to need a plastic spoon. You're going to need Dawn dish soap. You're going to need some cotton balls. You're going to need vegetable oil. Mine just happens to be in this little fancy little jar thing. And then you're going to just need a container that is filled halfway or about halfway with water. That looks like this, and then an extra container of some sort. Okay, so before we get into the main experiment, I just want to talk about the oil spill. So what is an oil spill? An oil spill is a form of pollution that happens mostly with marine ecosystems, so the ocean or somewhere in the water. However, oil spills can happen on land too. But oil spills are usually just oil leaks or spills and into the water. And they can also happen not just even in the ocean, they can happen in rivers and lakes as well. So what causes an oil spill? Oil spills are often caused by accidents. They can also be caused by human error or just carelessness. Like just not really thinking through on how to dispose of things, just things like that. These accidents usually involve tankers, barges, oil drill rigs, and other places or methods of transportation that usually store or hold large amounts of oil. And so why this is a problem. Oil spills are very harmful to the marine life, like whether it's birds, mammals, or the fish and shell life that live in the water. Oil coats the feathers and fur of the life that lives around the ocean, and this can cause a condition called hypothermia. And hypothermia is when something is too cold. So that means they can possibly die from getting too cold, which is very sad. And because their fur and their feathers cannot protect them from the weather, especially like if they're coated with that oil. So it says how to clean up an oil spill. I'm sure you've all seen the commercials with the Dawn dish soap. So this soap, and as you can see too, it even advertises the animals that can be affected by oil spills. Because as you'll see in this experiment, we'll find out what is the best way of cleaning up oil spills. And we'll do a quick side experiment just to see why oil can be very difficult on cleaning it out of water. So if an oil rig in the ocean has an accident or it spills, then that is not good. So this is what happens. So here is a bowl of water, and now here's the oil spill. What do you notice about the oil in the water? What do you notice? What I notice is that the oil looks bubbly and that it doesn't mix with the water. It stays separate. So that is what makes oil very difficult to get out of water. So what you are going to do is with this pan, so now you're going in my view now. So you're going to take your pan that is filled a little bit of water. If you have these this material at home, you're going to put a little bit of oil. So this is acting as our oil spill. So as you can see, here's the oil spill. This is like if an oil rig in the ocean spilled water. As you can see, it's kind of bubbling up and separating. And as you can see too, let me go on this side, look, it does not mix with the water. It's still staying afloat. And if you think about it too, that's why ducks and stuff, especially birds, from the birds that live in the ocean or around the ocean get affected, because they are usually sitting on top of the water floating. And it also affects like whales and dolphins because they have to come to the surface to breathe because those are mammals. And so what you're going to do is you're going to see what the best way to clean up oil is. If you have, you're going to try to use cotton balls, you're going to try to use the spoon, you're going to try to use the oil dropper, and try to use those first and see what happens. So what I'm going to do, and this is why I have this separate container, you may need a bigger one, but I chose to do a small one. But let's see what happens with the cotton ball. So it looks like it's slowly sucking it up. But look how much oil we're gonna have to get. Ugh. This makes me feel so sad for the animals affected by that. And so I'm putting my oil there. So how do you think that way worked? It worked better than I thought, in my opinion. But now let's try a spoon. So I'm going to take this spoon and just try to scoop it out. Okay, I'm gonna put it in my container. Okay, so what do you guys think about this way? Can we just scoop out the oil? But the problem with this though is it can take forever to get out. Okay, so that's our second way. Now let's try our little medicine dropper. So can we just suck it out? Okay, putting it in our container. Still kidding. It's still going. Like, see, this will also take forever as well. And it's hard to even tell too if I'm even getting the oil. Like, what if I'm like just sucking up water? Like, I can see a little oil in my little medicine dropper, but it's not as much as I would like. Okay, so now, as you can see, those ways are not as effective. Some might be more than others. That is something I want you guys to think about, is which way out of those three were the most effective, and which ones were not so effective. Okay, so if you have these supplies at home, you may try it out for yourself. And now, last, if you don't have the supplies, still stick with me. But now we're going to try the Dawn dish soap. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Dawn dish soap and so let's look what happens. Whoa. Do you see that, guys? What did it do? So look, so you can see our Dawn dish soap sunk to the bottom, but it cleared out a lot of that oil. You saw it right before your eyes. So that means that probably soap is the best way, especially. So what soap does is it breaks down the oil into smaller drops so that it can mix with the water and rinse away. So that's what why soap is such a really important thing, especially when it comes to rescuing animals affected by the oil spills that happen in real life. But yeah, so now that it has broken apart, maybe we can go back to our like the old methods and try to get the rest of it out, whatever one you thought was more effective, because that soap helped get rid of a lot of that oil. And so right now I'm just trying to suck out as much oil as I can, and it is making it so much quicker than having just to soak a cotton ball or suction it out or spoon it out even. So yeah, so I hope you guys learned a little bit about oil spills today. I am very passionate about this subject of keeping our environment clean and reusing, reducing, recycling, and just doing whatever we can to protect our environment and to make sure that our environment stays beautiful for a long time. But that is my activity for you guys today. If you learned anything new, I would love to hear it from you on our next Google meeting. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next week with our new theme. Our new theme is basically, it's all about the future. So, and you guys are our future. So I am super excited to get into next week's theme, and I'll see you next week. Bye, boys and girls. Have a great day.